A brilliant strategic move or a questionable choice? John McCain's decision to pick Sarah Palin as his running mate is the hot topic in the presidential race today. CNN Deputy Political Director Paul Steinhauser joins us from St. Paul, Minnesota, where the Republican convention kicks off Monday. Paul, obviously a lot of heated debate about her experience. The Republicans claim, she's been governor for almost 2 years and she can handle the job. But does she really have what it takes when it comes to national security and foreign policy?
That's the argument, Asya, that the Democrats are saying right now. That is what they are saying as they attack her and say she's not qualified to be commander-in-chief. Because remember, yesterday when John McCain announced this, it was also his 72nd birthday. And what the Democrats are saying is that was bad judgment to pick somebody who's only going to be a heartbeat away from the White House, somebody that only has 2 years of experience as a governor, as a commander-in-chief, and has basically no foreign policy or national security experience. Now remember, the Republicans and John McCain have been going after Barack Obama for quite some time now, saying he is not qualified to be president because he doesn't have such experience. So how can they continue to use that argument if John McCain's new running mate has even less experience than Barack Obama? Asya?
So what do you think the strategy was here on McCain's part?
This was an interesting pick because I guess some people are calling it a game changer. It definitely was a historic pick. We've only had one other woman ever on a major party ticket. That was Geraldine Ferraro. She was Walter Mondale's running mate in 1984. This is the first time on the Republican side. And if this is an attempt to grab women voters, female voters who may be upset that Hillary Clinton didn't win in the Democratic primaries and were even more upset when Hillary Clinton wasn't named as Barack Obama's running mate, then this may be the strategy. Yesterday in Ohio, Sarah Palin talked about the female factor. Here's what she had to say.
It was rightly noted in Denver this week that Hillary left 18 million cracks in the highest, hardest glass ceiling in America. But it turns out the women of America aren't finished yet, and we can shatter that glass ceiling once and for all.
There's one problem with that strategy, though. On the social issues, on abortion, Sarah Palin is against a woman's right to choose, which puts her squarely in the camp on the Christian conservatives. But that may be a problem for a lot of these maybe upset Hillary Clinton supporters. They are probably, if they don't vote for Clinton and if they don't vote for Obama, it's going to be hard to see how they're going to come over to a Republican ticket that is firmly against a woman's right to choose, Asya.
Pauline, I was talking to some Hillary Clinton supporters yesterday, and they were saying Palin's comment, when she was introduced about Hillary Clinton and the whole glass ceiling thing, they said that was kind of random. I mean, nobody expected her, as she's being introduced the first time to the world, to make a comment about Hillary Clinton. But anyway, let me ask you about the VP debate. When that happens, does Joe Biden have to kind of, is he going to be in a difficult situation? Is it a fine line for him as far as how to handle someone with significantly less experience?
Yeah, this should be interesting. It kind of reminds me of the two debates in the 1980s. You had Herbert Walker Bush, the first George Bush, debating Geraldine Ferraro in 1984, and there was definitely a wide gap there. And 4 years later, of course, it was Lloyd Bentsen debating Dan Quayle. We all remember how Lloyd Bentsen kind of ate up Dan Quayle. But no matter how well Biden does against Palin, remember, the race for the White House, when people vote, it's for the president. It's for the top of the ticket. And that's really the most important factor here. Even though, Lloyd Bentsen in '88 did very, very well against Dan Quayle, his running mate, the guy at the top of the ticket, Michael Dukakis, didn't win. So when voters go to the polls, they really are thinking more of the person on the top of the ticket rather the person, the running mate.
And how do the Democrats, after that incredible convention, how do they carry the momentum from here on till November?
That was one of the interesting things about yesterday's pick, because I think what John McCain was trying to do was make a bold pick and steal the spotlight. Well, he did do that, because basically we stopped talking about Barack Obama yesterday and we started talking about Sarah Palin and her pick. So has the spotlight shifted? Yes. But has the momentum shifted? We don't know that yet. We need to see the polls. Right now, this race for the White House is extremely close. It's tight nationally, and it's tight in the states, in the battleground states. And that's where we see both campaigns today. Barack Obama and Joe Biden are going to be in Ohio today in a incredibly important battleground state. That's where yesterday John McCain introduced Sarah Palin. Today, John McCain and Sarah Palin are in Pennsylvania, right next door, an incredibly important battleground state as well. That's where Barack Obama and Joe Biden were yesterday. You're going to see these candidates kind of crisscrossing some of the crucial states. There are about 15 or 20 of them across the country. These are the states that are probably going to win or lose the elections, Asiye.
And do you think Palin could help McCain in some of those battleground states?
Definitely. Remember, she's a Western. She's from Alaska. She's a big supporter of gun rights, a big member of the NRA. A number of these states, we were just there in Colorado, New Mexico, and Nevada. These are three big, important battleground states out west. She could help there. Where else does she help? As we talked about on abortion, she is a social conservative. And she's a reformer, and she really cleaned up the ethics in Alaska, and I think that'll help with the Republicans, with the party faithful. So there's a lot of pluses here. I know that people have been talking about her minuses when it comes to national security, but there are a lot of pluses in this pick, and she is a woman as well, and they made history with this pick. So it was definitely a bold, bold choice by John McCain.